Listen to this thing. What's up, guys? This is Ken Kaplan on something you're not going to see every day. That's for damn sure. It's a limited production 1987 Honda VF700, aka the Super Magna. Why'd they call it the Super Magna? Well, it was pretty badass in its day. It ruled the 750cc touring market. This particular engine is a V4. It's a 90 degree V4 with double overhead chain driven cams, and it has this really cool exhaust system. It's kind of like the calling card of the bike. This is the original factory 4 upturn exhaust pipes. It's a double overhead cam, 4-cylinder, 4 valves per cylinder, 16 valve. Just a highly advanced motorcycle for the time. Liquid cooled, shaft driven, disc brake in the front. Not a lot of these survived the years. I mean, this bike is 33 years old right now. This one has received quite a lot of bit of love in the last 200 miles over the last couple of years. I guess I'll start with the paint job. The bike was completely stripped down. The cowling on the bottom, side covers, rear fender, tank, everything was dismantled, taken off. The tank was bicarbonate, sodium blasted on the inside, and the outside was completely refinished in this absolutely stunning orange bronze color with the Honda badge or wing on the side there. The seat is in brand new condition. While the bike was taken apart, the tires were replaced. Check out the front tire and the rear tire. These tires have less than 50 miles on them. They're basically brand new, front and rear tires. About 40 hours labor went into the bike between the mechanical and cosmetic services. Starting with the top of the handlebars, has new mirrors on it. The master cylinder was rebuilt. The clutch cylinder was flushed and bled. The front brake calipers were taken off, dismantled, and rebuilt. So the front brake system's like brand new. The fork seals were just replaced last month. Brand new fork seals, fork oil. The forks are coil spring oil dampened forks with anti-dive technology. The front end's nice and raked out. Looks like a drag racer built for the street with the low bars, rake look. The original cast alloy mag wheels, front and rear. Just a beautiful, beautiful piece. Has the engine guards. The rear tire, again, has been replaced, as has the front tire. The rear brakes were serviced. This came from the factory and has the original disc mag rear wheel, which the upturned rear valance back here with the side scoops that are on the side covers. It has a really unique look. One of the reasons they called it the Super Magna wasn't just the performance, also the style it had. This bike, I was told by a Magna collector that Arlen Ness, the God rest his soul, he just passed away, considered one of the premier custom bike designers, that he had his hand in some of the design work of this bike. And you can see something, the reminiscence of his style with the upturned pipes. You can just imagine him drawing this on the board, a no holds barred muscle cruiser, and that's what this is. This bike had power that the 1800 V-twin Honda VTX, it'll hold its own with that bike. I've got some of the stats in the folder I'll pull out and go over with you. Everything's been gone through on the bike. It's been tuned up, new oil and filter, new antifreeze, all the fluids have been recommissioned, tires and brakes have been rebuilt, new paint job. Approximately $4,000 worth of service has been done to this bike, about 40 hours labor total. The carbs were completely rebuilt, which is no small task. The airbox was clean. Let me grab the work order as Junior goes around the bike and shows you up and close. It spent quite a bit of time in the detail shop, also having various parts of the engine and chassis repainted and touched up. It is a 33-year-old bike. 3,200 miles on it. It's basically mechanically brand new. This motor's barely broken in with 3,000 miles. These motors, the heritage of this bike, this was originally the world-dominating VF700 engine that they used for winning multiple world championships in road racing, and they turned it into a muscle bike like the Yamaha VMAX, but a smaller one that would be more affordable, easier to ride, and a very low seat height. The seat height in this bike, the way they designed it, is 4 inches lower than the previous Magna, which is huge if you happen to be short. It's not an issue for me at 6'2", 220. Not an issue for me, but if you're a shorter rider, you're going to love this bike. Very low slung. So the Super Magna, all aficionados call it the Super Magna. Again, 80 horsepower at 9,500 RPM with the torque being 46 foot-pounds. Just a fantastic piece. I almost forgot to mention, I just got back from riding the bike. It has a 6-speed overdrive transmission with the shaft drive and the V4, and it's just fantastic, smooth, pulls like a freight train. 3.4 gallon tank, a very fuel efficient bike, and with a 6-speed overdrive, there's a gear for every situation. So just a beautiful piece. If you have any questions about the bike, give us a call. Again, they only made 16,000 of these 33 years ago, and a lot of them were destroyed, run into the ground. So good luck finding one that's been tuned to perfection, or even find anybody who knows how to work on these with the carbs and everything. This one's done. Good investment quality bike. 10.8 to 1 compression ratio, 4-stroke, 90-degree V4, double overhead cam, 4-valve per cylinder, as I said earlier, the Super Magna. Beautiful piece. As far as the documentation on the bike goes, I've got the title right here in hand. So it's got clean title, no problem getting it registered at all. Just a beautiful piece. Oh, the front forks are air adjustable too, I forgot to mention that. Here's the title right here, and here's the work order that we have for the bike, showing a total of $3,811 put into the bike. 16 hours in our shop, 20 hours in another shop, and some of it outsourced to Jeff Castine at All Sport. So well over 40 hours of labor. The paint job, the tires, it all adds up. Just under $4,000, $3,811. Battery's brand new. It has tender leads on it, so you can plug it in. It won't die on you. Brakes have just been serviced. Airbox been cleaned. Needs nothing. Just get on a ride. So if you have any questions about the bike, give us a call at 860-454-7024. We can ship this bike anywhere in the country for you. East Coast 500, West Coast approximately $100 more. So East Coast shipping is usually done in a week or so. West Coast is going to take longer. Call for a quote to send us your zip code, and we'll get you a quote. Junior, is there anything you'd like to add about this bike? I know you got a chance to swing a leg over it too. I mean, it's a stunning looking bike. It runs great. It's well sorted.
Pull strong, guys. No, there's not much that can go wrong on these. And it's not your typical UJM styling with pullback bars and king queen saddle. No, it's got the curb appeal. It's going to be reliable. It's a classic at this point. So something that can be daily ridden or taken to the show, swap meet, get thumbs up wherever you go.
The paint job's beautiful. I think I'll point out any defects I can see on the bike right now. There's a little nick right here. It looks like it was dropped on this side. There's a scratch on the chrome right here on the a little scratch on the pipes right here, down here. A little scratch on the crash bars. A little scratch on the grip and on the end of the lever. Very minor. Oh, it looks like it was tipped over in a driveway. Normal for a bike that's 33 years old. The little bit of patina on the aluminum here, as is normal. Various components on the engine, like the top of the carbs was painted. The chrome was starting to chip. So normal patina, shows like a new bike from 10 feet, but you get up close and you can see, you know, it is 33 years old. So again, I went over all the mechanical stuff that's been done. Come around this side here. I'll see if I can find any defects on this side. Beautiful bike, but there is a little tiny nick on the chrome right here, a couple scratches right here. Typical garage wear. You know, the guy had 30 bikes in his garage, so it doesn't look like it was dropped on this side ever. No evidence on the crash bar or the pegs or the levers. The only issue I saw was on the other side there. Nothing major though. Good luck finding a nicer one that's as well sorted out as this one. That someone just dropped close to 4G into it, including what we did and the previous owner had, and also the subcontract labor we did to All Sport. So without further ado, I'm gonna do the riding part of the demo.
Yeah, take it for a rip. Give me the paperwork.
If I haven't done that, if you haven't.
Get out of here.
Yeah. My favorite part of the job. 3,200 miles. We're gonna take her up to the tower and back, and then we'll do the YZ250. Want me to do a drive-by?
Yeah.
Hey, is there a plate on this thing? Where's the plate? Can you run in and grab it, or is that too much trouble?
Then I just won't do a drive-by.
What?
Then I just won't do a drive-by.
Cody! I need the plate. The plate. Kenny's right here. Hey, how come the turn signals don't work on this? Or do they? Oh, there it is.
I think the switch may be a little funky, that's all. The button on the switch may be a little funky. Go ahead.
Hey, how come our shipper has a better truck than I do? What the fuck? Tell him we want a discount. All right, I'll be back.
All right, go ahead.
Seems like the only people making money off this business are our vendors. We work our asses off here for basically nothing. The sales of the bikes just covers some of the overhead of the museum and the payroll, but I'm definitely a volunteer here, that's for sure. But anyways, back to the bike. This is the Super Magna, and it performs like its name. That's why the Honda aficionado named it the Super, because it kicks ass. This is a 33-year-old bike, but it feels modern. The rhythm of the motor, V4, is excellent. Very low vibration, and 80 horsepower in a small package is a nice combo, let me tell you. Great for highway riding. I wouldn't hesitate to take this thing long distance with the 6-speed overdrive, and plenty of power for the open road. Spring's starting to get here. It's getting to be a little warmer, longer days. Won't be long now before peak riding season starts here in New England. We've got a short season here. That's why you'll find bikes like this one in the Northeast that have 3,000 miles on them. You know, this thing's barely broken. If this is a Florida bike, it would have 30 to 60,000 miles on it, or a California or a Texas bike. Up here in the Northeast, we've only got a short season. It's basically May 30th, May, June, July, August, and September. If you're lucky, you got 5 months. And we get a lot of rain too, so the bikes up here end up sitting inside, and the batteries die. The people don't have a tender on them, so the battery will die, and then they'll let it sit, and then they don't get to it for a year or two. Now all of a sudden the carbs are clogged, and the bikes sit, and then they're bought by people like us that understand. In this case, the previous owner, I forgot to mention, if you've been following us, this bike was owned by Mac. He's a collector that had the Kawasaki triples and the 4 SL 175s that were restored to concourse condition. He's the one who did the paint job and the tires and half of the work. We did the other half, the carb rebuilds and everything else, and the carb rebuilds, brakes, and some of the major detailing. But in any event, this was owned by a collector, another Honda collector like us, that was really into these vintage Hondas, and he definitely did a nice job on it. It's a beautiful bike, and we took it to the finish line. This is not something that a typical garage mechanic is going to be able to do, you know, rebuilding the carburetors, replacing the tires, rebuilding the brake system. That's all stuff that you need specialty tools to do, and, you know, painting the bike. If you bought this bike to a shop and said, hey, I want you to strip it down to the frame, send the tins out, have them professionally painted, rebuild the entire brake system, and put new tires on it, and detail the entire motor, pull the carb system off, rebuild the carbs, flush every fluid out of the bike, the gear lube, the do a full oil lube filter, change the clean air box, put new mirrors on it, repaint sections of the engine. They're going to look at you like you're from outer space, first of all, and if they even agree to do it, I promise you, you'll have a $4,000 bill, and don't expect them to pick it up anytime in the next 3 months. So buying a bike done like this is absolutely, unless you really want a project and you've got a few months spare time. When I say 40 hours of labor, that's 40 hours professional labor, professional tools. Sometimes you end up doing things 2 or 3 or 4 times if you're new to it, whereas a pro who's been doing it forever is going to do it once the first time, and he's going to do it right. Plenty of power going up these steep hills, and the transmission is on point, typical Honda quality. Brand new tires, so it corners like it's on rails. Nice fresh set of tires front and back. Super smooth, sporty, and it's got that curb appeal that you're not going to get with a regular Magna. The Super Magna with the swooped up rear tailpiece, 4x4 exhaust system, custom paint job. She's a beauty. I'm not sure if these are the original handlebars, but I will point out that you can see right here the welds are a little cobby on the handlebars right there. I don't know if they were customized, like I think they might have been customized by the previous owner. I don't know. I haven't had one of these stock, but you can see how narrow they are, and the weld doesn't look like a factory weld, and it's been painted over. So I think they put some time and effort into these handlebars too, which is kind of cool. We're up to Henry Park at the tower. We love to come up here on our rides. It's only 1.5 miles from the mill, from the museum, and you got this wonderful view here. That church down there is right next to the mayor's office and town hall and the town council chambers, mayor's office right there. Killer view. It's so nice to come up here in the summertime. The sun sets in the west over here, so you get these beautiful sunsets. You watch the planes landing at Bradley Airport over there. Nice at night too, but the park closes at sunset, so you're not really supposed to be up here. That tower is a World War I memorial to all of the veterans that served. Typical Honda quality. Everything works beautiful on this bike. The turn signals, all the idiot lights, the high beam. The turn signal switches, I'll point out, is a little bit funky. If you go too far to the left, the turn signals don't work. So you got there's a certain spot that you have to for your right or to your left. You can't go too far, otherwise you gotta push it back a little bit. But that's just something to note. The switch is probably the original switch. Horn works great. Choke is right here. Your high-low beam's right here, and you can see your high beam indicator works beautifully. Let me slow her down here and put her in neutral. I'll show you that the neutral light works. All the idiot lights work. All the turn signals work. All the high beam, low beam, tail light. Brakes are perfect on it. Tires are brand new. Paint job's new. Good luck finding a nicer 33-year-old bike in this price range, or any Super Magna for that matter, that's been this well sorted out by the best in the business. What an asshole. Fucking blowing his leaves on the road. Some biker's gonna come around the corner and kill himself. It's actually illegal to spray your grass clippings into the street. I probably should have pulled over and said something, but kind of busy. I'll maybe stop back later in the middle of the work day here, but that guy needs to be told how dangerous what he is doing. It's right on a sharp corner. You know, when we go up to the tower, Christy and I like going up there to watch sunsets, and on the way back, on most bikes, we'll actually put the bike in neutral and not start it and see how far we can get to the museum. We've actually been able to, usually most of the bikes, I'm gonna say 9 out of 10 run out of steam right about right here, right on the uphill. But we've had a couple bikes that just rolled exceptionally well and made it all the way to the museum, actually past the museum from the tower without starting the engine. So that's kind of cool. It's all downhill, all the way down to here. We're probably 60 feet above sea level right here, whereas the compound where we live at the house, the 52-acre farm that we have, motocross track, we call it the Kaplan compound. Look at the, if you don't know what that is, Google 500cc shootout or 500cc shootout at the compound, Kaplan Cycles, and you'll see the last 2 years videos that we did there for the first and second annual 500 shootout. We're 1,600 feet above sea level there. So we own this house right here. We fenced this in so we can ride over here and keep the bad guys out and the good guys in. We own 11 acres here right in the middle of the city, and both sides of the street. If you don't already know that, we own the other side of the street, which is kind of cool because we have big parties here that you're invited to. So hopefully we'll see you here this summer. What a fantastic running motorcycle. And look at this one. Wow, that's going out to somebody's nice KZ 900, James. This is our shipper, James. He ships probably 20-30 bikes a month for us up and down the East Coast. Say hello, James.
Huh?
Say hello to the camera. The camera.
Hi, how are you?
He handles all our shipping of our quality classic motorcycles like this Kawasaki right here. White glove shipping, door to door. And he's also, you're a retired police officer, right?
Yep.
And former military, right?
Yep, Marine.
So you can't find a better resume than this guy. He's a Marine and retired policeman to handle your vintage bikes. No one's gonna mess with your shit with him transporting it. If they do, they'll probably have a little surprise. Thanks, James. So he's our badass shipper. He ships bikes everywhere for us. A couple classics today. This Honda 350 that he's got going out has 134 miles on it, that red one. That's a beautiful piece, and the KZ 900 just had a frame-up restoration here at the museum. Those are the kind of bikes we love to turn out. Stay tuned. I'll be riding Big Black, that YZ250, and the Gas trial bike next. Just another fantastic day at Kaplan Cycles. Been blessed. Followed my dream to do what I love to do. Working on motorcycles. Faith in God that this will all work out. I'm not doing this for money. I've spent far more than I'll ever make here. If you don't know about our journey, we've invested $7.5 million into restoring the old factory here that houses the New England Motorcycle Museum. And if you're new to our channel, you can actually ride a motorcycle across the bridge here. Christy calls this the Kissing Bridge, into the museum. And here you have Doug Henry, Ricky Carmichael, and Jeff Stanton's factory CR250s, and along with a lineup of vintage bikes here that's a football field long, starting with a Dyna, a Yamaha SR500, a Triumph Bonneville 750, another KZ 900 Kawasaki, a Yamaha DT250, a Daytona Special 400, an XL 175, a TS 185, an XL 185, a Yamaha Seika 550, Kawasaki Eliminator, a Bultaco, a Penton 6-day trials bike, a BSA 441. What's up, Junior? An MX 125, a Kawasaki Concourse, an XT225 Cerro, CR250 Elsinore, T250 DT, TS 185, Seika 900, a TS 185, a custom Goldwing Cafe racer we built here, a KTM 360 SX factory SX racer, a brand new Husqvarna 450, a Buell, a Honda, a YZ 490, an XS11, another Buell Thunderbolt, a Ricky Carmichael 450, a Concourse winning Osa Pioneer, a Vertimati, a Kawasaki KX125, a Husky 250, a Mako 250, a KTM 495, a YZ 490, a KX500, an RM 500, and a Honda CR250. And then in the middle here, you've got the Rokons, the ATCs, this, my good friend Frank's KDX 450 and his matching KDX 80 behind there. Hells Angels, Harley Davidson's over here on the left. My good buddies from the Hells Angels motorcycles. Bultaco, Honda SL350. Those are Tommy's bikes back there. Local Hartford Hells Angels. Rokon automatics in the middle here. Honda 175. My lifelong friend Candy Peckham's dad's Honda 350. A Harley 175. A Cannondale, brand new, never started. A Rep Hustler, a 441 BSA, an electric bike. A GPZ 305, a Honda 90, a Harley 175, a pristine KZ 900, and some cool bicycles I bought for the kids when they're babies. We've got Team Turtles, Kawasaki. We got the RM80, the Osa, that's a Bridgestone 175, a Honda Sealy 450, custom-made trike, Some pristine, brand new CZs, an ATC, another Daytona special, a brand new KX450, Yamaha X. All these bikes on the left here, folks, all these bikes I'm showing you right now are all listed on eBay right now. The two CZs, the KX450, the brand new one, the Honda V-Star, the XV920, the Yamaha 420, this pristine CR250, the Honda ST90, the Can-Am TNT 250, the Bultaco, the GS Suzuki 1000, that's listed, along with the Honda trail bike, the little hot rod mini bike, twin Yamaha AT125s, a DT250, a pristine CR250, pristine 1300 mile Harley Davidson Cow Glide. Where are you going to find one of those? All these bikes I just showed you on the left are listed on our eBay right now. I can't believe this hasn't sold. Pristine Yamaha 650, a DRZ 400, brand new, 0 miles, a KLR 650, brand new, 0 miles, and a brand new, last but not least, a brand new, right out of the crate, Honda CR125R 2-stroke, BMW X Challenge, and a CBR 600. All pristine, restored bikes for sale at the New England Motorcycle Museum. Today, what are you waiting for? Buy a bike, help support the museum, help support this kick-ass hobby that we love so much, and help us restore the American dream here. One motorcycle at a time. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. And as always, God bless America. What's happening, Junior? You moving some bikes around?
Yeah.
Didn't we sell one of these Yamahas right here?
We did.
Oh, okay. The twins.